just left the hotel in Gambia on day one, and I found the chief of the Gambia. Don't forget. Just remember. Just got to Gambia. This is what you get for €30. Hey, I've already unmade the bed. It's not their fault. The artwork is their fault. Not sure about that. This is fine. This does the job nicely. This isn't luxury. This is middle of the road. Just what I wanted. Is this door alright? The solution to a wonky door isn't to refit the door frame, it's to slice a bit off the bottom of the door and add it to the top. So that it meets up. It's just brilliant, I love it. Gambian workmanship at its finest. No complaints here for this price. British plug sockets, people speaking English. What is happening? This country is surrounded by Senegal. I didn't think it'd have such a strong identity of its own, and it really has. And there's white people everywhere. Let's go and explore the Gambia. Not Gambia, the Gambia. Just learned that Thomas Cook used to fly here until they went belly up last year. And as a result, a lot of people that used to come here directly from England now have to go via Frankfurt, or sometimes they do what I did, fly into Dakar, but then obviously they don't get on a bus with a goat to come here, they come down here on an internal flight. But in other words, it's all become a lot more difficult to get here directly from the UK, which is where the majority of tourists come from, because this used to be a British colony and they speak English and it's all very, very pro-Britain. I've just seen about 5 guys wearing England shirts. Not from England, let it be said. Weirdest capital, so weird. You come into this place called Banjul. So a couple of points. First of all, Gambia is the least populated country in Africa. It's also the smallest country in Africa. But what's really weird is the capital is one of the least populated towns in the Gambia. So you come into an African capital city on a boat, and when you arrive, it's like there's 31,000 people in this town. It's not even a town, it's not even a city. There's a couple of consulates dotted around, just in the most weird places. Belgian consulate in a hardware store. It's normal. But other than that, there's really nothing in Banjul. So the first thing you'll probably do is come to this, the slightly more upmarket part. And look, English, and they're selling things like swimming pools. What is happening? It's weird because I've just got used to the madness of Senegal and not knowing what the hell was going on. And now I'm here. But don't worry, it seems a little bit weird. Let's go and check out what all the rich white tourists do first, and then we'll rough it a little bit after that. Spaghetti and pizza. Grass, lawns, manicured beautifully. Oddly, of course, populated by vultures. Just wandering along, living the dream. Heading down the beach to see what the crack is. I'm in the most luxurious part of the Gambia, in a place called the Hotel Senegambia, which is basically a collection of idiotically gorgeous grounds for slightly chubby white men like me. Heading down the beach to check it out. I thought I'd start, not adverse to a cheeky slice of luxury, I thought I'd start here in a place called Senegambia. Forgive the headphones, I've just got to try and make sure that this all technically works. But yeah, Senegambia is the luxurious place full of white people that have come into Dakar and then taken internal flight. I don't think the buses that are not for the faint-hearted, sometimes with goats on them, that take you from Senegal down to Gambia, as I've done, I'm not sure that's everyone's bag. So most people that want to chill out and get away and get a good bit of guaranteed winter sun fly into Senegal, into Dakar, and then they take a cheeky little flight south, probably for, I don't know what it would be, less than an hour probably, to the Gambia, where we are now. This is the Senegambia resort, which is crazy luxurious. Actually, it probably isn't on a global scale, but it certainly is for Africa. I mean, they've got sunbeds for a kick-off. And people from Liverpool that say things like, oh, we just love it here, we come here every year, it's absolutely fantastic. The people are so nice, the food's not great, but you always know what you're getting in the Gambia, and you're always getting winter sunshine. So there's quite a lot of that, although they probably don't sound exactly like that, because I don't think anyone sounds exactly like that. But yeah, I thought I'd start here, and what we're going to do, we're going to slowly get away from this beach and move inland, upriver into the Gambia, and my gut vibe, I'm pretty sure, is it's going to get more rough as we go. There's more poverty in Gambia than there is in Senegal. 60% of people are below the poverty line here, which compared to the 40% of people that are below the poverty line in Senegal is quite shocking, and you certainly wouldn't know it in this part of the Gambia. Also, similar to Senegal, nearly everyone is under 16. I believe 45% of the population is 14 or under. That's the stat I read, so let's assume that most people are under 16. So it's going to be an interesting place in the years to come, both Senegal and Gambia, as this massive new generation comes up and needs employment. And I'm not sure that tourism is going to stretch far enough. We will see. But let's get into into the depths of this. Hang on. You probably didn't see that, but that was a fly that just flew into my mouth. I think everyone behind me is enjoying slightly better food. So, away from that, here are the streets, and it's really touristy, which it should be. There's 1,000 white people sunbathing there, doing crosswords, waiting for their life to end, which sounds like a bit of a bash. I'm not having a bash at them. I think it's a great way to live the last years of your life, and I'll be doing exactly the same. Hello, darling. Yeah, groovy. But yeah, no, I don't sound critical. I mean, you're better off doing that than being in a retirement village in England, wearing fawn and waiting for the days to just end. Great, good for them. But yeah, kind of freaky, very English. In fact, everything's written in English, kind of. There, you're just not allowed to put things in boxes, presumably. But yeah, it's good, it's good. You can rent a bike if you want to do that. You can send money home or exchange money. Queen of England and Benjamin Franklin look like if they were involved in a car accident and then put through a car wash. And then got in a boxing ring together. All the usual knickknacks, buying bongo drums and wooden carvings and all that. They're so much more expensive than in Senegal though. Stands to reason really. A lot of people don't go, even probably as far as I've gone from that resort back there. Nothing wrong with it. If that's your thing, totally cool. I find it a little bit stifling, so it's time to go on an adventure. Having said that, here's a nice restaurant with tablecloths. So I'll probably have a beer first. But adventure is a-coming. I'm going to meet up with a guide and have a little cheeky safari number, including a boat tour in 1,000 hectares of parkland that's a nature reserve. And one of the things I'm going to do is take a little boat tour down some mangroves, and as well as that I'm just going to take a walk through the flora and fauna. I will see flora, I will see fauna, I may see flotsam, I may see jetsam. Someone just told me if you want to keep the mozzies away, although it's dry season, there's not loads of them around, they are a pain in the arse, so to keep the mozzies away all you have to do is rub mint into yourself. And I have to say it's extremely effective so far, although I do smell like I've just been running naked through a Wrigley's factory. I think I'm going to be seeing frogs today, and I've been told I can chat with them. Might be a breakdown of English there. I think they said you can talk to them, but I mean, let's be honest, I don't know if you get any decent conversation, but they believe that you can click at the frogs and they click back. I don't really know what that's all about, but what would you do if there was like a Ferrari behind me? I just learnt a lot about mangroves. I learnt that the fruits turn into the roots. Basically they're giant upside down trees. And you can talk to frogs by doing this. Chatting to frogs in the Gambia. Has anyone ever fallen asleep on a boat tour?
Here?
Yeah.
Nah.
Where you've just been talking and they've just gone. It's quite a lot of money to just have a very nice sleep.
Yeah.
Alright, I think I'll stop there. This is my 4-poster bed. And by 4-poster bed, I mean that it's got some twigs holding up a mosquito net. Just drop my laptop. Luckily I've got this rather snazzy protective case. Right, so that is going to cost you €30 for one night, and yet again the doors don't quite fit the frames, but it's secure. And beyond a fallen baobab tree and a living baobab tree in the distance, you will see what the appeal is. And let's talk about Africa in general for a minute. So years ago I used to be a DJ on the radio in Canada, and I got let go, and when they let me go, fired me, they gave me a bit of cash, a bit more than I was ready for. It was just after Christmas, and Ontario is colder than a snowman's willy, so I thought it would be a good idea to get away from it all, and being that I didn't have a job and that I had some money, I went on a trip across Africa. And I started in Tanzania and went all the way down to South Africa, and I fell in love with Africa then, and I've never really stopped thinking about it. I love the music, I love the idiotic noises that are made by the wildlife, even though I know very little about what's making the noises. The views are ridiculous. Let's mention the music again because it's so good. And of course the madness, the constant rhythm of things you don't expect. I'm in a slightly touristy place today. I must be, because next to my powerful Harley Davidson, whatever that is, there's a man organising bike rentals, and over here you can do little 2 seater Jeep rentals, and but yeah, it's quite plush here. But I thought I'd show you what you can get. So my room, which isn't really worth showing you, and it's a terrible mess, so I don't want to show you the state of my laundry hanging around the place, is about €30 a night, and for that you get access, of course, to this restaurant slash area to chill out. This place was built in 1994 and has very slowly become more popular. And I think you'll see one of the reasons it's so attractive. You can do fishing trips here, you can do guided tours of the mangroves. Hi folks.
Hi.
Through the bar, which, as I found out last night, stocks whiskey, you will see this. This is the Bintang Balong Lodge. And Balong is a word for tributary. And that's the view. Cheeky bit of sunbathing. A light wind. And a view to set a man's nipples on fire. Look at that bad boy. Mangroves. Sunshine. And if you can afford it, for a few more euros, I think it's about €40 a night, you can stay in one of those cottages, or one of those cottages over there, but I'm a bit of a skinflint. Tighter than a camel's arsehole in a sandstorm. If you want, you can do organised fishing trips and tours. And if you catch a fish, you can even bring it back and eat it in this restaurant. All of those are oyster shells. Look at them. Endless amounts are grown on the mangroves here. Anyway, it's been nice. I've had a little swim, but it's time to saddle up the trusty steel steed. They call it a motorbike. Let's be honest, it's a moped really. It's the beefiest thing I can get. It's a KTM 120cc semi-automatic. I didn't know what semi-automatic meant, but I now know that it hasn't got a clutch. But because I'm used to motorbikes, I just do the notion of the clutch every time I change gear anyway, and I'm constantly surprised it's not there. It's 36 degrees. I'm wearing jeans because I'm quite safety conscious. If I fall off, I don't want my legs lacerated. My balls are the temperature of the hottest planet in the solar system, and I've forgotten which one that is. Whatever that one is. And actually the same size. So I'm going to load up the trusty steed, we're going to get going, and I'm going to show you some of the film, particularly of the smaller towns, because that's the really interesting driving bit. Riding out of Bintang on the God, sand and motorbikes mix so well. Oh, hi. Hi. Oh, I'm on the wrong side of the road, I've just remembered. Hi. Hello. I don't think they're too bothered. You drive on the right here, but because it's a former British colony, it keeps bending my head. Quite often we've got to wait for a little goat traffic jam. Indecisive goatees. Okay, we are on the road. Cooking with gas. See what we can see. These are the buses. They've always got half a village on the roof. These little bad boys can be as old as like 40 years, but they just keep going. I saw a truck yesterday that was like 1950 something. Hi. Hello. Everyone loves a hello. Hi. Alright, let's crank this puppy up and see what she's got. Oh yeah, it's a 4 to the 4, 4 on the floor, full house with a blower. Yeah, 10,000 pounds of torque. And actually that's what I've got. What this has got is 120 little cc's and a tiny petrol tank, which I found out yesterday. Yesterday I decided it would be a good idea to try and make it a couple of 100 kilometres. Hi! Yeah, yeah, yeah. Hello! Hello! And I realised after a while that it wasn't going to make it, so I had to stop at a village. Hiya! And buy a couple of litres of petrol from a man. Oh, hello. The combination of very friendly and slightly scary when children run out in front of you. But yeah, you can buy petrol from old men with beards at the side of the road, usually, at unofficial petrol stations. This is the Gambia, and I have to say the roads are exceptionally good. You've seen a couple of potholes here because we're on a side street, but I don't see a lot of white people around here. But they're really efficient. The main road, just south of the river that is Gambia, is in a great condition. Of water pumps on the side of the road, a lot of goat poo, and you might notice that every now and then you get these flood areas. In August, you never know it now, but in the middle of our summer it just throws it down with rain here. The early part of the year, any time from Christmas to any time from Christmas to sort of March, just dry as a bone. Let's give it a UNICEF backpack, proving that UNICEF is doing good, helping children learn and hopefully lifting them out of poverty and onto large bicycles. GoPro, stop recording. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, that's off. Great. Don't forget. Just remember.